Now, for the third time in the second episode of a season of this Louisiana State Only challenge, starts off with me saying the team hasn't been performing very well, more so offensively, which is surprising because we have an 87 overall offense with an 80 defense. But with the changes that we made during the offseason, our defense is starting to actually look a lot better. Now, still a lot of room to improve, but for the most part, they've looked a lot better. And we're going to start this episode by taking a look at the stats to give us an idea of who's doing what and kind of go from there. Offensively, 28th in the NFL in yards. Defense is 18th. Honestly, a little bit surprised. I figured we would have been a little bit higher on that board. We're also dead last in scoring, considering our last game we were shut out. Now, Joe Burrow, he hasn't been a great quarterback for us this entire series. So far this year, just shy of about halfway through. He's just under 1,600 passing yards, 5 touchdowns to 4 interceptions. Completion percentage, 63% is probably the lowest that he's had throughout this series, and he's been sacked 8 times, so about once a game, which is better than what it's been in previous seasons. Yet he's struggling more. In the rushing department, Davis Price has actually had a really good year. He's up to a star dev after he did get a boost. I can't remember who it was against. It was in one of the sim games last episode. But he's up to a star dev, averaging 3.5. Would like that to be closer to 4. 5 touchdowns, though, is solid. Boston Scott definitely got demoted out of his receiving game, which is really his only way out onto the field because he hasn't been performing. He's been fumbling. So Davis Price has taken over that. Burrow has had a few rushes, nothing of real significance. Darrell Williams comes in occasionally, mostly plays fullback for us when we rarely do have a fullback, mostly goal line. He has a touchdown on the season. Chark has a fumble on the season. Probably won't see too much more jet sweeps. That's kind of out of this new playbook, which we will talk about shortly. Receiving-wise, Justin Jefferson, only 451. I mean, that's not very good. We are going to try to artificially create more looks to go his way. Only 1 touchdown as well. Burrow is our second best receiver. He should be 4th, considering we have Chark and Marshall. I would even say Morrow could be 3rd. But clearly what we have tried of recent, it's not working all too well. In terms of blocking up front, it is one of the best starts I feel like we've had. Both of our tackles giving up 3 sacks each. Considering we've played against some pretty good talent, not bad. And continually, our youngest guy, Chip Edmonds, continues to be one of our best offensive linemen in terms of pass blocking. He's given up the least amount of sacks, 0 in about 450 snaps this season. But defensively, we are playing a lot better. Patrick Queen well on his way to have another 100-plus tackle season. Right behind him, Deion Jones. Like that lineup. Stingley in the slot this year. Kind of depends on how the other offenses come out, but if it's a 3 spread, he's definitely in the slot. I'm fine with him being our 3rd best tackler. Same with Xavier Woods at 4. As for tackles for loss, Arden Key with 5 and Daniil Hunter at 5. So Daniil on par to do with at least what he did last year in the run game. Have quite a few amounts spread throughout, but could use a little bit more. But the main thing to talk about is the fact that Arden Key is half a sack away from doing what he did in the entire season last year. And Daniil Hunter already has 3.5 more sacks than he had last season. Milton Williams getting in there a little bit. He's actually had more, I think 2.5 sacks more for him. The rookie has a sack in McKee. Patrick Peterson on a safety blitz got 1. Patrick Queen and Greedy Williams both split. Now, we have not seen a whole lot from Deion Easley because we're in a spread league, and he's only really coming out right now when we're in base package, the 3-4. But even in that, he's got 19 tackles and 2 tackles for a loss. Would I like to get him out there more? Yeah, but I don't see us switching to a 5 front whenever it's a 3 spread and then having 1 linebacker. I don't think that would put us in a good spot. So the fact that Arden Key and Daniil Hunter are both producing means Easley isn't going to see the field as often. Now, one thing this team needs to improve at defensively is forcing turnovers. 1 interception through the first half of the season goes to Patrick Peterson, which was one of the reasons that I did bring him in because I figured he could do some of that. We've forced some fumbles, though. And 4, not too bad. Arden Key, Daniil Hunter, Christian Fulton, surprisingly, and Xavier Woods. Now, of those 4, we've recovered 3 of them. So actually pretty good. Hunter, Xavier Woods, and Milton Williams. So not too bad there. In the kicking department, it hasn't been the best start for Cade York. We've lost a couple games due to the fact that, one, we didn't send out a field goal unit to the field to at least tie a game in overtime, so we lost against the Falcons. And then in one of the other games, we missed a field goal and we lost by 3. So some of those coming in to Cade York, we could have had at least 2 ties or another game go into overtime. Ryan Wright, 44.5 yards a punt, it's fine. His longest 66, sure. So there is some good coming from the defense, but the offense in general has just been poor. We started the season with Cincinnati's playbook, and that was a decision we made in the offseason. Give Burrow his actual playbook, see if that improved his play, and it didn't. So in the last 3 games, we tried switching to the Florida Only challenge, which is essentially just my run-heavy playbook that kind of takes the quarterback not out of it entirely, but he takes a backseat to the running back. And we won a game, then we lost a game, figured, okay, it's kind of split even. Well, then we went into the last game against the Falcons and got blown out 24-0. So they swept us once again. So in between episodes, I've created a new playbook. So let's take a quick look. It's primarily pistol and shotgun. Unfortunately, couldn't get rid of all the formations because you can't actually change your game plan for every full thing. So there's like one random single back set and I think one extra shotgun set I can't get rid of, but this is what it's going to look like, and it's primarily built out of short passes, some deep, and some run. So we're going to use the pistol doubles Y off, a lot of spread, no 2 tight end set besides goal line is what we have kind of gone with. We also have the spread from the pistol, which is just 2 receivers set either side, and then the trips left open. So we're going to have 3, actually I think it's 2 receivers and the tight end on the left-hand side and the 1 receiver off to the right. In shotgun, we do have a variety of different packages, and we're trying to move around Justin Jefferson a little bit. So the Debo package, he's going to go into the backfield, and I'm pretty sure on this one he actually gets the carry. So we'll see some bit of Jefferson just straight up getting handoffs, some that we're trying to pass to out of the backfield because we're trying to artificially create looks to go his way because Burrow really hasn't been, which is interesting. We also have the doubles, which is just 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right, tight end on the right-hand side, with the running back shifted to that side as well. Again, a lot of these going to be some short, some deep, a little bit of some play action sprinkled throughout there. We have the Eagle tray, 2 receivers to the right plus a tight end, 1 lone receiver off to the left, trying to isolate Justin Jefferson with this formation. And then empty cowboy, one of the few empty formations that doesn't put a running back out at the receiver spot. So it's 4 receivers, 1 tight end. Very similarly with the empty tray or empty flex tray, just slightly different in terms of where they actually line up, but for the most part, they are pretty similar. And then an empty quad. So we're going to have 3 receivers plus a tight end off to the right, and then again, isolating Justin Jefferson off to that one side. Maybe matching up against a corner and safety, but trying to get that one-on-one look. And we have 1 more formation, again, moving Jefferson to the backfield, again, trying to artificially create some looks his way. The running back is the primary read, or technically Jefferson would be the primary read on all of these plays, and then a random run play mixed in there. Spread 2 receivers either side, the running back in the backfield, and then Trey, 3 receivers off to the left, tight end on that right side, or vice versa, because you can flip it. And then the 1 formation I could not get rid of. Now we're going to debut this playbook against the Raiders. A really good defense, 89 overall for their defense. Their offense is an 83, so, not awful. They do have Nick Bosa, so we're going to need to make sure we're blocking well. The quick, medium passing game hopefully will help us out as well with some running mixed in the middle there. Raiders in 5-2, and this is really a breaking point for our season. A win. We need at least 1 win, preferably 2, before our Week 10 bye to really give us any hope of turning this season around. So let's jump into this first game against the Raiders and debut this playbook. It'll be the battle of the gold versus silver. Who's going to come out on top? They're 5-2, we're 2-5. So we all know what the analysts are probably going to be going with. But it'll be the Raiders up first as Williams breaks off 7 yards. So definitely need to try to slow down the running game. They also look like they have, I think that might be CeeDee Lamb up in the slot. Will be a pass actually. Jared Goff, the quarterback, gonna dump it off for the fullback who will actually get by. I believe that's Xavier Woods up top. Will be a first down. Now obviously talked about how the defense has been improved, and while that's definitely the case, they still have given up some points and definitely some games where they've given up a lot of yards as well. So we'll see what defense comes to play on here and about the second half, start of the second half-ish of the season. We're at the Week 8 deadline, and I don't think we're going to make any trades. If anything, we would be selling players, but as we're trying to figure out where this team's going, kind of don't want to sell anyone yet. So once again, we're not going to be making any trades at the deadline. If any trades are to happen, it'll be in a postseason. Receiver coming in motion towards the bottom, making a 2-receiver stack. Goff sitting in the pocket, pass rush working its way back there as we almost saw McKee get a sack. Just the one on the season, and I'm pretty sure that came in a sim portion of a game, so we didn't actually see it. But he's been helping in the run game. We've definitely been better at stuffing the middle. However, across the middle in the passing game still has been a little bit of an issue. I think the Deion Jones move was more unilateral due to the fact that Quan Alexander did regress, so didn't really improve anything, but a stuff in the backfield. Danielle Hunter, loss of about 1.5 yards, maybe 2. Will force the field goal attempt from the 46, make it a 56-yarder as the Raiders try to grab the first points of the game. And that one is going to be, I think, short and wide. So we get a bit lucky there, and Burrow and the offense can head out for their first possession with the new Louisiana Only playbook. And it'll be from the either Debo package or split receiver backfield. Jefferson, the top of the running back duo, as we do swing it out to him. This is exactly what I was talking about creating artificial looks to go to Jefferson. That formation and the other that are pretty much exactly the same, that's what those are in the playbook for in their entirety. Get Jefferson going here. We haven't really gone to him much, despite Burrow and him. I'm pretty sure they played together, at least for a season in college. Burrow has mostly gone to Chark, which is surprising. As we swing it out this time, going to Davis Price. Again, going to get him involved in the passing game as well. He will also get involved with the running game as our primary running back. Another split look here with Jefferson in the backfield. Burrow with a quick spin around, then a throw. Some style points on that one. Will also net us another first down to Chark. Now an empty set here at the 26. 3 down below, 2 up top. Burrow with just a 3-man rush has the time to find Chark across the middle as we work the ball down to the 6. Chark still being the number 1 target so far as we stay empty. Trips up top, 2 down below, so flipping what we had at previous. Pass rush coming in and a sack for Nick Bosa. Lyle Collins has struggled at times this year against the Premier guys. This time flipping it, now it'll be Robert Hunt against Bosa. So we have a 2nd and goal, pistol draw play here. Perfectly blocked, setting up Price, who lowers the shoulder down to the 2. And from there, a 3rd and goal at the 2. Will we go with the fullback dive? No, just straight dive right down the middle, and Price powers through about 3 different Raiders, getting us on the board, capping off our first offensive drive. And I don't want to say anything too early, but that is exactly what I wanted the offense to look like. Now we will go ahead and watch this second possession and see if Goff can lead the Raiders down the field a little bit more cleanly. Not that their first drive wasn't bad by any means. Gonna start it off pretty well with a catch right across the middle. A tight end wearing 47. Interesting, maybe a draftee. L. Nugent. This doesn't ring a bell, so I'm going to assume draftee. Tight shotgun look, quick pass off of CeeDee Lamb. He almost caught it off the tip from the defender as well. But the ball will eventually hit the turf and bring up a 2nd and 10. Under center, 2 receivers down below. For Goff, will be a stretch. And a really nice block there on Stingley. Thought he could have got the tackle. Instead will be Patrick Peterson. Arden Key also over there. We'll say Patrick Peterson filling out that role well at free safety. 3rd and 7, a bunch up top. One down to the bottom is CeeDee Lamb with a pass deep across the middle, and that's been the area of concern. Christian Fulton not tight enough coverage as Van Jefferson probably gets the catch and also ends the first quarter. We have the lead 7-0 as the Raiders move into plus territory. And they'll start from a heavy set, 2 tight ends to the bottom. Van Jefferson close to the line. Will be a play action pass as once again that medium to slightly deep right across the middle just continues to be a problem for us. We have pretty decent cover backers. The only slight, actually no, because the covers is better with Deion Jones than with Devin White. So we have the best cover backers. We don't have the best safeties. We obviously traded them away at the beginning of the series to try to bring in some of the other guys that we have that maybe has worked out, maybe quite hasn't. 2nd and 2, empty look, quick throw, gonna get picked off Patrick Queen. That throw was behind the intended target, and Goff will get over to get the tackle. But Patrick Queen with our 2nd interception of the season, once again back in the leaderboard. A little bit of right place, right time as Bosa gets his 2nd sack. We at least pick up the lost yardage, 3rd and 10, and then a throwaway. So 2nd drive definitely doesn't go anywhere. CeeDee Lamb picks up 10. Another 2 for Javonte Williams, 2nd and 8. He gets 7, leaving a 3rd and 1, which he definitely converts. 7 yards once again. 15 more yards, Freiermuth through the air. Then a penalty will back him up. Looks like holding. 2nd and 20, a throwaway. And then an interception, Christian Fulton. We came into this game with 1 interception, just talked about needing to force more of those. We have 2. Love to see it. 5 more yards, Terrence Marshall, as we get into plus territory, then a 0-yard rush. Don't love to see that. And we're close, but not quite close enough. So let's head out with the big man group. Have Darrell Williams at fullback, and he's going to get the handoff and the first down with a convoy in front. A really nice fullback dive goes for 13. And we could jump into the watch portion from there. 1st and 10 at the 30. Just over 2 minutes left here in the first half. Burrow from the pocket going to roll down to the bottom. Actually going to be a scramble, of which he will gain some yards, and they say fumble. Scooped up by 13. Davis Price comes in to get the tackle. That might be a second look to see if Burrow was down. It looked like that knee might have hit. And indeed, the booth review is coming on in. So we'll take a second look just to make sure. But I am pretty sure that that knee was down. Burrow, yeah, knee, elbow, and the crown of the helmet as well. Luckily, that wasn't a penalty. You never know nowadays. Forcing a player straight down on their head, I could see that being a new penalty soon. But the review and then the subsequent 2-minute warning definitely gives enough time for Burrow to recover. 2nd and 6. We need a touchdown here and a nice swing pass out to Davis Price. Gets the first down. Would like to take a 2-score lead into halftime. Granted, a field goal would also do that, but would like all the points. 1st and 10. 2 receivers up top, 2 tight ends down to the bottom. With another throw right to Davis Price. Swing it out to him, and not going to be the first down, but a gain of 8. Just 1 incompletion for Burrow on the day. As we're about 20 seconds, 15 seconds and counting. Now over a minute left here. As we get the pass to Sullivan on the drag. And we'll call a timeout from there. From the 2-yard line, 58 seconds left on the clock. We'll go with a toss. This one is not rated very highly in the playbook, but Davis Price shucks the defender, and it will be a 2-score lead. Prior to half, granted, there's about 54 seconds and 3 timeouts for the Raiders, so defense, you can celebrate, but hold on to the lead. Now, after a block in the back on the return, Goff and the Raiders start way back at the 17. They do have all 3 timeouts. They will go with a short pass to the outside. Van Jefferson gets the grab, but just 5 yards. However, does land out of bounds, so should stop the clock, and does actually stop the clock. So kind of a free timeout, if you will, but only 5 yards gained. A tight shotgun formation here. Pass rush working its way back there as Danielle Hunter gets back there and tosses down Goff. Played against him enough when, in real life against the Lions. So I'd expect he would know a thing or two on how to get to Goff. 3rd and 14. So come out with a strong eye. Looks like they may be trying to run out the clock, and indeed that is the case. They hand it off Williams, who actually pick up a fair few amount. We call a timeout. We want ball and some more points. Now, if you were here for the last episode, you know how bad Madden's AI is at calling timeouts when you need to be calling timeouts. So we're going to jump out here for a possession, see if we could actually get them down the field and get some points on the board. Though we definitely don't have a lot of time to do so. Are we going to have our guy towards the sideline? Yes, we do. Moreau gets the first down and out of bounds. So that can actually keep us from having to call our timeout. With 8 seconds left, let's try to get a quick slant across the middle perhaps. Set us up for a nice, easier field goal. As with 2 seconds, we will call that timeout and we'll send out Cade York to put us up 3 scores, 17-0. If Cade York can nail this field goal from the 32, make it a 42-yarder. And it's right down the middle. So first half, we're already scoring a lot more points than what we normally do. So from there, let's jump into the quicker sim because we watched a good portion of that first half. So let's see how we do in the second. I don't think we actually went to a halftime there, but it's fine. CeeDee Lamb pops off for 25 yards though. 7 more yards, Vontae Williams. 2 more yards, 3rd and 1. Defense gets the stop with a throwaway. Do they go for the field goal? No, they punt. So defense continues to hold this team to no points. And we've been able to put 17 points up against an 89 overall defense. So, I mean, this new playbook might be working out really well here for us. We did also have the penalty to help us out early on in this drive. As a sack by Quinnen Williams, same man who did help us out with a penalty. Jefferson will pick up the 6, 3rd and 8. Jefferson with the 22, past the 30. Let's watch. I feel like I keep getting closer and closer to the microphone as I keep trying to, I don't know, like instead, you know, when you're playing a game, you lean forward to like focus in. Since I'm not playing, I just lean closer to the microphone. Actually not even a gain, a loss of 2 there. Maybe should focus more on what's happening. Yeah, loss of 2 there on the first down run. Be 2nd and 12 from the 30. Burrow sitting in the pocket, across the middle, knocked away. Great coverage from 5 with a little bit of a showboat there at the end. If there were 3 pumps, that would be was it Kringleberry penalty? I can't quite remember. Was it Hingle McCringleberry? 3rd and 12, Joe Burrow smacked as he tried to scramble. Well, 4th and 16 at the 34. Looks like it will be another field goal attempt. Not a touchdown drive here, but from, what, 41 and a half, be about a 52-yard field goal. Cade York nails it once again. Now, where we've had our issues, especially on defense, is closing out these games. We've allowed offenses to get things going late on and draw things closer as Milton Williams gets the sack on 3rd down. So a 4th and 8 will be a punt, and a heck of a punt at that, as we start deep in our own territory at the 2. Joe Burrow runs for 7 yards though. I'll take it. 3rd and inches. We do get the first down. Justin Jefferson. I'm assuming that's some of those directly designed plays out of the backfield for him. I don't know why that was so difficult to get out. Another penalty on Quinnen Williams. Dude keeps jumping off sides from the look of it. A throwaway, another 3rd and short, and another throwaway at the 31. A first down could almost put this game away, knock on wood. So go for it. And at least worked out pretty well for us the last time. It's more like half a yard needed here. Hard count, no one jumps, so we'll hand it off. Darrell Williams will power through a couple of defenders and gain well enough for the first down. And from there, we'll go back to the quicker sim because we do want to get through a decent chunk of the season here today. Another first down on a 3rd and short. We then lose 3 yards the next play, 2nd and 13. Marshall will pick up 9, 3rd and 4. Jefferson with 12. We get into the red zone. We'll definitely jump on in. 2nd and 8, 3 yards Boston Scott. 3rd and 5, we pick up 4. You know what we're doing. Though we will shake it up a little bit. Not going to go with the fullback dive. Instead, from shotgun. Hard count again, no one jumps. Darrell Williams with some space and not as many yards from the fullback spot, but does get the job done. And he also gets us to the red zone. So we'll watch from here. Jefferson in the backfield. We'll swing out as Burrow gets smacked and fumbles. And the Raiders will recover. Burns with the big hit. Gives the Raiders maybe a little hope late on. They're going to need 3 touchdowns. Not a great job blocking there from Robert Hunt. We'll see if they could drive down the field at least. Start with an incompletion or a throwaway. Then a 6-yard rush by Goff. They do convert the third down. 1st and 10, a sack, Dion Easley. We missed the first sack of our 7th overall pick, so we picked him well early on. He's top 10 pick. Another throwaway, 3rd and 19. Van Jefferson just gets 9. I assume they go for it here as we do hit the 2-minute warning, so rewatch the Jefferson play. And yeah, they go for it and CeeDee Lamb converts. We'll jump in from here. They've moved the ball down to the 26, about a minute, 10 seconds and counting, as they will throw it up top. We'll find a tight end for a 1st down, as Patrick Queen was having to cover 2 different guys there. And I do see Easley down at the bottom, so I'm wondering if there's an injury as he gets a 2nd sack. Well, he's come to play today. I'm worried, though, if Daniil got injured or if... No, he is out there, so maybe Madden's just messing with my depth chart. Either way, Raiders do find a guy in the back corner. They will at least get 1 touchdown on the day, but they will need an onside and 2 more scores in 25 seconds. And obviously, they're going to go with the onside. They're not just going to concede. However, we're going to pick it right on up. That's Terrence Marshall. Oh, I wish he cut towards the top. We had a convoy out there, but that should do it for us here. The debut of this new playbook, and the offense finally got things moving. Now, we still didn't get things moving all too well, though. Only 20 points, but against an 89th level defense, I mean, it's impressive. We'll need to see if we can continue that play into our following games. Now, we're actually going to jump straight on in late on in the 4th quarter to the next game against the Carolina Panthers, as we just scored a touchdown, giving us a chance here late to try to find a game winner, but we're going to need 1 more stop on defense. Now, if I'm remembering correctly, we beat the Carolina Panthers barely as our first win of the season. So we know we could get the job done. We just need to get the job done. It's 24-21 late on here. And there's actually a breakout opportunity for the rookie and Dion Easley after getting both of those sacks last episode. He's also getting the start as Arden Key had a practice injury. So we'll see if he's able to get the job done. As a good tackle there, Christian Fulton as well as Deion Jones meets Gibson in the backfield. We'll force a 3rd and 4 with a little over 3.5 minutes left in this game. Both teams all 3 timeouts remaining. As it will be a pass to a right across the middle. You just saw that open up. No one stayed underneath. So a chance here for the Panthers to run out a lot more clock. 2-minute warning coming up shortly. Maybe 2-3 more plays. As Tua sitting in the pocket right across the middle will be another 1st down. And a good chunk more gets them past the midfield line. Down to the 47 as they switch to more of a heavy look here. 3 tight ends. Will be a play action pass, though not even play action, just straight up pass to 80, who's close to the 1st. They mark it 2nd and inches. Plus the 2-minute warning arrives. It's pretty much now or never for this defense to get the stop. That ball already looks like it's past the line to gain. So a tackle for loss will be needed, but will not happen as they're going to pick up a whole lot more. Getting this one down to around the 23. At best here, we allow a field goal with no timeouts remaining and try to get a touchdown. It's a tall ask, or force a turnover. Definitely not going to get it there as Gibson close to another 1st down, which would seal it here for the Panthers. As they do come out in a I formation. Looks like maybe 2 receivers to the bound to the bottom, or just a tight I formation. Will be a handoff. Gibson powers through. And that timeout uses the last we have, and they could easily run out the clock from here. Tua set to kneel it, and it will be another loss in division this season. We've just struggled against every single division foe we've faced. Now, what we could hope for here is they're actually going to run a play is that we could force a turnover. That's our best hope. Gibson down the middle. McKee there will get the tackle, but does not strip the ball. And they'll kneel it 1 more time, and that should be it. Tua at the 9. We'll take the snap. Eventually, there it is. We'll kneel it down, and it will be a loss. So we just can't stack together wins. That's kind of been our problem throughout this series, and we keep seeing the same problems throughout. So it will be a narrow loss, 3-point loss against another division foe. I mean, that time it came down to the defense. That we needed them to get the stop at the end, and they didn't. And once again, we're still only scoring about 3 times a game. So Need to get that going, definitely. And as for Easley, he did not have the game that we were hoping for, so it will not be a development boost for the rookie edge rusher. Now we move past the bye week, and again, against Denver, we're sitting in that same spot where we score a touchdown late, make it a touchdown game. We need our defense to come through for us. But at that same point again, only 13 points up to this part of the game with this offense. I mean, it doesn't even seem like the playbook is necessarily making that big of a difference. In that first game we watched, it seems like the offense was moving pretty well and against a really good defense. But against these other defenses that aren't supposed to be near as good, they're not performing as well. So, I don't know. This team is in a very weird spot. And we've tried about everything that we could do, so it's up to them to make a difference. As we send the extra blitzer, and it's not gonna hit home, we'll be lofted out of bounds, but that does at least not get any yards gained. Does kill some time though, so that part's not fantastic. It will be a 2nd and 10. We'll hand it off right down the middle. Good tackle there from Patrick Queen. Will be a 3rd and 8, and we have to get the stop here to give our offense some time to get a touchdown on the board to just tie the game. It'll be a tight shotgun formation here for the Broncos, going down to the bottom, and why are we playing off coverage? Why are we giving them so much space? Derek Carr finds his receiver for the 1st down, and from there, looks like they might be going into drain the clock mode. It's a triple tight end set all up top. It will actually be a pass, almost intercepted by Xavier Woods. Tried to jump the route, just couldn't quite hold on to it. 2nd and 10, double A gap look. Also stops the clock, so there's that. Handoff right down the middle, and a 1st down gain. So take back the stopping the clock because they just gained the 1st down right after. Defense, definitely not getting, I mean, they've held these teams to about 20 points till the 3rd quarter. Your offense has to score. So it's not entirely on the defense, though we're asking for them to get another stop late on after they've tried so hard throughout the game and the offenses just aren't helping them out. As we hit the 2-minute warning here, we have a 2nd and 5. All 3 timeouts still in our pocket. And it will look like we'll have to use at least some of them here on defense as they are sitting about in field goal range. Be another handoff. Penny gets smacked by Woods. Not a 1st down, but a 3rd and about 1. We do end up calling that 1st timeout, but we need the stop here, and it's a read option. Carr down to the bottom, and he gets the 1st down. The backup safety, Evan Williams, was in there. Is it Evan Williams? It's E something Williams. Can't quite remember his first name, but he doesn't have the speed, doesn't get the stop, and once again, it looks like it's going to be another late game our defense gave up. Not that our offense was helping him out much anyway. So it'll just be another one to add to the last column as this offense just continues to not help out their defense, who's at least holding these teams to a winnable score, but the offense just can't score. And with it clear that this season was not going anywhere, I decided let's get ourselves on down to the final week, week 18. But let's go kind of through each of these games. Now we saw that our defense just could not give us a chance late on to get a win versus the Panthers or against the Buccaneers. Similar things could be said about this Buccaneers game, but essentially what had happened was exactly what we saw. We had a little bit of a lead going on in the 4th quarter, played decently well throughout, but then when the 4th quarter hit and it came time for our defense to get the stop, we gave it up. And the Buccaneers walked away with a win in week 12. However, in between this Buccaneers game and going into the Commanders game, I made a change. When going through the coaching, setting up the year, like the practice and all that, I normally go with like 2 passing touchdowns or 350 passing yards or 200. Well, what I decided to do was switch it to the 350 plus passing yards, have the defense continue with about 20 points. That's typically a good spot for us. But then more specifically, I switched it, the main one, for our offense to score 5 plus touchdowns. And since then, we started to actually score quite a few more points. Against the Commanders, we put up 28 points in that first half. Second half was not as good, and the defense definitely started to let up once again. The Commanders drew things back, but we were able to find the winner. And against the Cowboys, we kind of saw the same thing again. Started to score a lot of points. By the time the first half was over, it was 21-6. The second half started great in the third quarter. Both teams just getting a field goal. But in the fourth quarter, defense let up a little again. Dallas was able to score twice, but we definitely walked away victorious. And that started to make me think that, okay, maybe I found the thing we were missing. We were just telling Burrow to get 2 touchdowns when we needed to be telling Burrow to get 5 or more. However, as we turned into week 15 against the Giants, things did not go our way. They walked all over us. First quarter was solid. No one scored. But then in the second quarter, the Giants put on 14 points. Third quarter, 17 more. And in the fourth quarter, 6 more. Meanwhile, we could only manage 17 points in total that entire second half. So the Giants definitely disproved my theory, thinking we just needed to tell Burrow to score more. However, the offense bounced back a little bit against the Kansas City Chiefs, though we were not able to walk away with a victory. The Chiefs put up 20 points in the third quarter, 15 more in the fourth to seal it, with most of our points coming in that fourth quarter, 20 of our own. We put 14 on the board in the first half, but again, we lost. Now, contrary to how all the other previous matches went, with the same thing, telling Burrow, score, 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 in week 17, we ensured we would have the same amount of wins as last year. But we did so by only scoring 14 points, and the defense held Tampa Bay to 10. So we do get at least 2 division wins in Season 3. And that leaves us Week 18, the finale of Season 3, because we can only get 2 episodes out each single season because the team's just not performing well. But we have a chance at least to get 7 wins this year if we could get another win in Week 18. I'm going to put a few different starters out there, but for the most part, it's going to be all the normal guys because I want to at least improve on last season. So we're going to jump on in for the final game of Season 3 against the Cleveland Browns, and hopefully we could do something. Now, we will be getting this game underway on offense. And once again, it's going to be that split backfield with Justin Jefferson back there. He goes out on a route as we barely get that pass off in time. Garrett already showing that he could be a wrecking crew. 2nd and 10 following the almost sack with a 4 look down below, 1 receiver up top. Burrow sitting, will throw down below, and will find Chark for a short gain. Will leave us 7 more needed here on 3rd down as we have 2 spread either side from the pistol. Burrow sits in the pocket. Quick throw, intercepted. Very, very fitting. We'll take a look at the stats at the end, but this might be a pick 6. And indeed, it is a pick 6. So let's jump into the quicker view and get through a different possession here for the offense, because I don't know. I don't know what to do with this offense. As I'm going back here to what I had said in the previous episode, I think the problem is Joe Burrow. Just straight up, I think it's him. I don't think he could get this team down the field and score consistently. We've had much worse quarterbacks play a whole lot better, as their offense is running kind of all over our defense. Nick Chubb, one of the big guys for them, gets the first down inside the 10. Sack, though, Danielle Hunter. Helps out, I guess, a little bit. 3rd and goal, a throwaway, so the defense stands tall, and it's just a 10-0 game. If we could get at least past midfield, we'll jump in and watch this offense. Penalty on Fletcher Cox will help us out. 1st and 10, there we go, past midfield. Though apparently, even though that ball is past the line to gain, somehow still is not a first down. Going back again to that wide receiver backfield set. Burrow sitting in the pocket. We'll dump this one off. That's going to be a first down and a whole lot more for Foster Moreau down to the 28. Burrow 4 of 9 and an interception. We'll see how bad his stats are at the end of this one. 1st and 10, trips up top will be a draw. Davis Price right down the middle will continue to push forward and pick up at least 4. Feel like he might be the shining light of this offense. Despite how good of a receiving core we have, pretty good offensive line just continues to not be impressed with Burrow, who does scramble here, slides down for the first down, about a gain of 7. Boston Scott checks into the backfield as well as Justin Jefferson, so this play happening a lot more than what I had actually planned for it, but it works out there as Jefferson shakes one tackle down to the 3. And from there, we'll go goal line as Darrell Williams out at fullback, Davis Price at running back. Hard count, no one jumps. We go with the toss out top and swallowed up for a loss of 4. So back to a spread look we go. On 2nd and goal back at the 7, last play of the first quarter. Will be a pass from Burrow. Looks to scramble. No, he steps up, finding Jefferson in the end zone. They had several guys wide open, but why not get it to Jay Jets? Interested to see how well he's done with this offense, focusing more on him and getting him the ball in artificial ways as well. As for our defense, if the Browns work the ball down inside, I'd say the 25, we'll jump in and watch a little bit. Percy Butler getting the start. Doesn't do very well. Moves him all the way down to about that 25, and then a sack from Milton Williams. 2nd and 15. If they get the first down, we jump in. Well, Deion Easley, who's also getting a start, gives them that first down. Essentially, the only changes made are Easley getting the start as the rush end, and then the safeties. I did put in Butler and Williams just to see what they could do, see a little bit of stats for them, because I do want them to develop a little bit. Our starting safeties are on the older side. But it's a first down for the Browns as they have the ball down to the 12. 1st and 10. Donald will dump this one off. Going to be Chubb, gain of about 8. And I think I said Donald? Darnold. Either way, good pass. 2nd and 2 with the goal line set. Chubb with a handoff, lead blocker. Does not get in Patrick Queen's way. He will get the stuff. However, about a gain of about a yard and a half. Will be a 3rd and very short. Goal line versus goal line, as it will be another Chubb handoff, met by Milton Williams, but does not get the stop in time. Chubb, I mean, he's one of the best running backs in the league for a reason. 1st and goal, expect them to go back to him here for a 3rd straight, and that's indeed what they do, and he shucks off Williams once again and gets them into the end zone. So we're really just going to be doing that 50-25 split. Offense gets past the 50. We jump in, although I kind of want to let this one roll a little bit. If we get inside the 25, we'll jump in. Since we started so close to midfield, and we are at the 25. Gain of 6, inside the 20. Good time to jump in. So the offense trying to make this a 1-score game before half. Have about 2:20 on the clock. 8 at the 18. Have all 3 timeouts. Draw. Davis Price. Not a great choice trying to bounce that one back. Fletcher Cox will end up getting the tackle for a 1-yard loss as we hit the 2-minute warning. So that'll leave us with 3rd and 5. Again, we have all 3 timeouts, but we need the first down first and foremost. Burrow from the pocket, going to scramble down below. Needs to find a receiver. He stops, finds Chark. Much better play there from Burrow, though he is only 9 of 14 for 87 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. So still not a fantastic first half. With a 2 tight end look. 2 receivers up top. Burrow sits in the pocket, delivers right across the middle, and Foster Moreau powers into the end zone. We will have at least 2 first half touchdowns. Gonna need a lot more in the second. We're also gonna need our defense to hold on to this slight deficit as Danielle Hunter gets the sack. 5 yards for Devontae Smith, 5 more there to Ridley, but they do not convert. And we might have a chance late on here, get some points on the board. 14 yards Bradley, 13 more Chark, 25 seconds left, a throwaway. 18 seconds left, a sack from Garrett. That might have just done it for us. From about the 50, yeah, nothing happening there. So, you know, stop letting sacks happen. Kind of the main thing. As the Browns start off with the ball in the second half. 4-yard loss there. Wish it told us who got the tackle for a loss and an interception. Derek Stingley. As we start inside the red zone, or now inside the red zone, why not see if we could cap this one off? Take a lead in this game for the first time. Joe Burrow has the offense down to the 12. 2 receivers down below, 1 up top, and the tight end just off the line. Also have Davis Price towards the top. We'll have a pass. Burrow looking to scramble. Buying time or looking to actually run. He will tuck and run. We'll pick up about 7-8 yards before taking the hit at the sideline. Now from there, headed out in the goal line for a 2nd and 3 at the 5. They have Garrett towards the top, and that's exactly where we're running. And Garrett meets us to stop us before we get the first down. 1 more yard needed, and we'll do it from the spread. 2 down below, 1 up top. Burrow, quick slant pass, caught. Chark will put us up finally. With an extra point, we'll make it 21-17. Now we just have to rely on this defense to hold that lead and try to help us get a Week 18 win. Though there is still plenty of time in this one, a quarter and a half, as the Browns are moving behind Chubb. Hurst checks in with a pass. 2 passes, as they do allow a sack Milton Williams. So at least getting a few sacks in this one. Pick up about all the lost yardage. Then a throwaway on 3rd down. And then a penalty, I'm assuming on the punt. Still going to be a punt? No, we blocked the field goal, actually. So we'll start at the 45. Okay, wish, again, we saw who blocked the field goal. It would be nice just so we could give recognition where recognition is due. 2nd and 1, McMath checks in, gets the 1st down. Then a throwaway as we sit at the 25, inside the 15. That's also where we start the 4th quarter with a 4-point lead, of which we're trying to grow. As we start at the 11, again, Jets in the backfield, as well as Davis Price sitting next to Burrow. Will be a pass, swing it out to Jay Jets, who does not get the block but shakes the tackle, and it's a 4th quarter starting touchdown by Justin Jefferson out of the backfield on that quick wheel. We'll make it 28-17 with that extra point. Granted, this is about the time where the defense really starts to let up, so if they could get it going here, and they do get the stop, 4th and 5. Need to see that throughout the 4th quarter, where we've given up a lot of points late on, as we do not get the 1st down there either. So a 3 and out gives the Browns the ball right back, a knock away. Eric Williams, that's what it is. 1st down gain, Devontae Smith, and then picks up another 8. Throw away from Darnold, 3rd and 2. Darnold rushes for the 1st. Defense needs to get the stop here. Under or about 5 minutes left here in the match. Another throwaway, 4th and 10. A penalty on the defense gives them the free 1st down. A sack, Patrick Queen trying to make up for it a little bit. 4th and 14, another throwaway. 3rd and 14, another throwaway. They hit the field goal. It's now a 1-score game. Now, was wanting to say, can we run out the clock? I guess a sack does waste some time, but then we throw the ball away. 3rd and 17, and then a throwaway. So no, we don't waste any time offensively. And the Browns take over in plus territory. Another throwaway, 3rd and 2, throwaway. Do they go for it? They lose to defense with the big play, and we do finally take over. Can we stop losing yards? Jefferson, thank you. 3rd and 1, 1st down. Let's jump in. Looking for the nail in the coffin as we are inside the 2-minute warning. Should be primarily running from here on out. As we hand it off right down the middle, Price, nice run, about 8 yards gained. Starting to call those timeouts for the Browns. They do still have 2 more remaining. We'll go right back to Davis Price with a 1st down carry and a few extra yards there as we get the ball down to the 27. We could even take a field goal too, or just continue to waste their timeouts and not score any points. I'm fine with that as well. Stretch to the outside, Davis Price breaks the 1st tackle, stretches, and he gets that 1st down. Last timeout called for the Browns. We could just possibly kneel it out from here. And it will be a kneel at least on 1st down. Joe Burrow with 1:45 and now counting. About 40 seconds will run off for each play. Though apparently we won't be going straight back to the kneel. 2nd and 11 from spread. Be doubles. I'm assuming we're going to hand this one off. Luckily we do. Davis Price with a 1st down. Don't score. Or score. That should still put this game away, and we could still end it probably just as quickly. But Davis Price will add another touchdown late on for the stats, although I was hoping to just run out this clock, but I will take it. The extra point will make it 35-20, though, Valdez Scantling starts him off with a nice chunk. But not enough time for 2 touchdowns. They have maybe one more play or an extra one because Godshaw had the penalty. No, they'll just say that's good. So it will be a win in Week 18, and technically we could say a better year than Season 2. But we all know this was still a disappointing season. With an 87 offense and 84 defense, we finished 7-10, missing the playoffs once again. Falcons also finished 7-10. And the top of our division, the Buccaneers and the Panthers, were both 10-7. Bucks do win the NFC South. So we were 3 games off of at least being in contention there. But still, that's not where we want to be. This team should be winning 14 or so games a season, but they're not getting the job done. But it's where we're at. So we'll finish the year taking a look at the stats. Offense, again, dead last, did not improve. Defense, slightly above middle, but still about average. As for the individual stats, we'll definitely take a little bit of a further look. Joe Burrow, again, I think he's the problem with this team. A little over, a little under 4,300 passing yards, 23 touchdowns compared to 15 interceptions. Not good enough for a 95, maybe even higher rated quarterback. Kind of awful. 64% completion. He was sacked 34 times, so about dead on for 2 sacks a game. Davis Price, while primarily passing throughout most of this season, there was about 3 games that we just ran the ball or mostly ran the ball. A little bit under 1,000 yards, averaged 3.5 yards a carry, had 15 touchdowns, did fumble twice. Burrow had a rushing touchdown and another turnover. Scott, he kind of got pushed to the side. Both the running backs did because they really weren't producing all too much. Darrell Williams did help us out on some fullback dives, though. 3 touchdowns for him, but I'm seeing quite a lot of fumbles on this team. 2 for Davis Price, 1 for Burrow, 2 for Boston Scott, 1 for Chark, 1 for Jefferson, and 1 for Terrence Marshall. So we were fumbling a lot. Receiving wise, Justin Jefferson does still manage to get over 1,000 yards, actually a little bit over 1,300. 8 touchdowns for him. I think is a little light compared to what he normally gets. And Chark, a little under 900, and then a steep drop off for the next couple of guys. So yeah, the passing game, despite the new playbook, definitely wasn't as good as in previous years. Maybe we're spreading the ball out a little bit more, but I don't know. The offense they're not clicking. Not a good year at all for La'el Collins. 17 sacks given. That's at least one. That is one a game. Exactly, one a game. Damian Lewis only allowed 7. Robert Hunt definitely turned things around from that halfway point. Did a little bit better. Cushenberry, solid. And once again, Chip Edmonds is our best offensive lineman. He's only in his 2nd year. So good job for him. Defensively, for the 3rd year in a row, Patrick Queen led us in tackles, 137. Deion Jones at 116 and Derek Stingley at 105. So we had 3 guys with 100+ tackles. So at least there's something to go off of there. Arden Key led the team in tackles for a loss with 10. Daniil Hunter, 1 less than last year with 9, but a whole lot more sacks. We'll talk about that quickly. Patrick Queen, 6 tackles for a loss, as well as Milton Williams and Dion Easley, the rookie. Derek Stingley, 4, as well as Fulton and McKee, the other rookie. I think he played solid across the middle. Wasn't splashy by any means. Deion Jones had 3, Patrick Johnson with 2, as well as Godshaw. Now, for sacks alone, Daniil Hunter had more than the entire team had last year. I think we had 9 in total. So 17 from Daniil Hunter, a massive bounce back year. Fantastic. Arden Key continues to produce 11.5 for him. Milton Williams had a much better year, 7. Dion Easley in his limited time still got 3, although 2 of those was in 1 game. And Tyquan McKee, 3 from the middle. I'm perfectly happy with that. He's supposed to be a run stopper, suck up the blocks. Great job. Patrick Johnson with 3, Godshaw 1.5, 1 for Patrick Queen and Patrick Peterson, and then half for Stingley and Greedy Williams. Interception leaders? Not Patrick Queen, instead Patrick Peterson with 3. Stingley also had 3. There was just 1 for Patrick Queen this year, which is honestly a lot less than what he has normally. Greedy Williams also had 1, same for Fulton, Deion Jones, and Xavier Woods. Now we saw at the halfway point that we were forcing a fair amount of fumbles for. We didn't force a single fumble for the rest of the entire season. So not great there, but we picked up the interceptions. So give or take, I guess. 100% for Cade York in extra points, 88 in field goals. So he started off slow, but he was 100% for at least the entire second half. So he's been solid. As for Ryan Wright, again, solid, long of 73, averaging a little bit under 50 yards a punt. No problem there. And we'll finish with a little bit of a preview of things that may or may not be happening when we get to the off season. Mostly going to talk about the draft and the picks that we do have. So as a reminder, this is a small draft class, only 11 total players, but there are some guys with some decent potential. So at cornerback, I think one of the highest rated guys we have Theo Collier out of LSU, 5'11", 198. Now, the defense was struggling a little bit with coverage, and we have some of the best options. So if we're to go after a corner, it would probably require us to trade away one of the current corners we have and maybe some picks to even get into the first round, because we don't have any picks until the third round. But he has a decent spread of ability here, but very similar to everyone else we already have. There is also an offensive lineman that could be pretty good for us, specifically because we also saw some really bad blocking from one of our highest rated offensive linemen, who's also going to be turning 32. Now, Owen Hall out of LSU, 6'4", 323. He doesn't have the top end kind of rating, so I don't see him being a top 5 guy, especially with the run block being a C and pass block being a B. But potential that maybe we need to go after an offensive lineman early on. Our current best offensive lineman was someone we drafted. There was also an interesting tight end in Sheldon Newhouse, who has some really intriguing ratings. I think he's probably higher than a round 3 to 4 projection. So I don't know. With how this offense has not been moving, do we switch to a 2 tight end set and maybe see if that works better? I don't know. There is a receiver in Adrian Nance, however, I don't think he's going to be too promising. They say he's a round 1 to 2 talent, but I see C catching traffic, C catching, B deep route running. I mean, that's solid, but then C release, so he's not going to get down the field easily. So there's a hit or miss in this draft class. We also do not have, like I said, any picks until the third round. Though when we do get to the third round, we have a lot of picks. So here's what we're currently slated with: 2 third-round picks, 2 fourth-round picks, 2 fifth-round picks, 3 sixth-round picks, and then another 3 seventh-round picks. We collected a lot of picks last year because we knew that we were going to want to probably trade up, and I think that will be the case. We also have some players that potentially we could also try to move on. I mean, clearly the guys we have are not getting the job done, so I don't think we should have the mentality that no one's untouchable. Fortunately, Joe Burrow is kind of untouchable because there is no other quarterback for us to even go after. We'll go to the NFL rosters and I'll show you that for guys from Louisiana, there's not much. As we start from the top, start going down, you're going to see Joe Burrow, obviously, at LSU, who's a 97 overall, but he's playing like a 57 overall. As we move along, you can see there is no LSU, no Louisiana Tech, I mean, Monroe even. Like, there is really no other option for us for a starting quarterback. We kind of have the best option, and in fact, I don't think we're going to even have a different option until we get down until maybe the 60s or 50s, possibly 40s, actually, upper 60s. There is a Tulane quarterback, Carl Barkley. He is the next best possible quarterback for us to use. He was a rookie this season. These are his ratings. He does have much better throw power than Joe Burrow, 5+, but then the accuracies are well below. I think the worst accuracy for Joe Burrow is about a 93, 94. So we don't really have any other options at quarterback, but he's really not getting the job done. So we're in a weird spot. Hopefully we can find a quarterback guru or something this offseason. I wish we were in the postseason. But yeah, so that's kind of where we sit right now with this series. Joe Burrow kind of holding us back. The offense is not performing as they should. Defense, well, they played better this year. They also still lost us some games, as well as the offense just not scoring. So I'm up for your ideas. If you have anything that you think might fix this team, do let me know. Next episode will be the off season, and we have one more off season after that, 2 full seasons. And if we can't win the Super Bowl within that time, Louisiana will be the first team to lose the state only challenge. So we'll see if they can turn it around next year. And if you want to see if they can turn it around, which I sure hope you do, make sure you're sticking around. Bottom right corner bear icon, tap that to subscribe, or actually scroll down and hit the actual subscription button next to that bell icon, which you should hit so you're notified of when these videos go live. This series is posted every single Wednesday and Saturday. We also have the Commanders Replacement Squad series every Monday and Thursday. And then on FIFA 23, again, still rounding out the My Player career, we'll be switching over to a creative club rather soon. So make sure you're checking out all of the 6 full-length videos plus all the shorts posted throughout the week. So off season, once again, looking to try to fix this team somehow. We'll see you then. Bye.
it's supposed to feel.